Men don't see sex the way you think. The real truth will shock you. You know what the biggest lie about men and sex is? That they just want the main course and couldn't care less about the appetizers or dessert. Research from Psychology Today completely shatters this myth. When scientists actually asked men what they wanted in bed, the results were shocking. The number one thing men desire, it's not what you think. It's effective communication and emotional connection. Yes, you heard that right. Men who feel emotionally connected with their partners report significantly higher levels of sexual satisfaction. This isn't some touchy-feely exception, this is the rule. But here's where it gets even more interesting. A comprehensive study of over 1,000 couples revealed that 67% of men said their number one sexual need was mutual satisfaction. They wanted their partner to be satisfied. This has everything to do with a man's self-esteem and feeling like a good lover. Wait, there's more that'll blow your mind about what men actually prioritize. The second most important need for men? Connection. They want to know their partner is paying attention and focused on them, not just going through the motions. This completely destroys the myth that men are just focused on their own physical release. Tonight, before any physical intimacy, spend 5 minutes making genuine eye contact with your partner and sharing something real about your day. Watch how this changes the entire dynamic. Here's something that research shows, but nobody talks about. Men's sexual satisfaction is deeply tied to emotional intimacy. When a man feels emotionally connected with his partner, he's significantly less likely to experience performance anxiety. Let me repeat that. Emotional connection actually improves physical performance. The research from Dr. Lalitha Reddy Paula shows that once a male gets emotional comfort from their partner, it elevates their entire sexual experience. But here's the catch. Society has conditioned men not to express these emotional needs because it doesn't fit the masculine stereotype. This creates a vicious cycle. Men want emotional intimacy but feel they can't ask for it. Partners assume men don't need it. Everyone ends up frustrated and disconnected. But what happens when men can't get this emotional connection? The results might shock you. Studies show that when men feel emotionally disconnected from their partner, they're often not in the mood for sex at all. This completely contradicts the stereotype that men are always ready. Dr. Sarah Hunter Murray's research with over 200 men found that emotional disconnect was one of the primary reasons men didn't want to have sex. Ask your male partner this question: what makes you feel most emotionally connected to me? Then actually listen to the answer without judgment. Here's a reality check that might surprise you. Research shows that 9% to 25% of men experience sexual performance anxiety. That's potentially 1 in 4 men struggling with anxiety around sexual performance. Yet we still perpetuate this myth that men are confident sex machines. The WebMD research reveals the most common worries men have: fear of not performing well, concerns about their body image, worry about penis size, and anxiety about lasting too long or not long enough. These aren't rare concerns, and they're incredibly common. And here's the kicker: this anxiety creates a physical problem. When men experience performance anxiety, their bodies release stress hormones like epinephrine and norepinephrine, which narrow blood vessels and make it more difficult to maintain an erection. It's a cruel irony. The more a man worries about performing, the less likely he is to perform well. But here's what the research from Planned Parenthood shows. Sex doesn't require an erection to be satisfying. The best sex involves creativity, communication, and partnership. Yet men are often so goal-oriented about erections that they miss out on genuine pleasure and connection. Remove the pressure by having a conversation where you both agree that the goal isn't orgasm or erection. It's connection and exploration. This single shift can transform everything. Want to know what really reveals how men view sex? Look at their regrets. University of Texas research shows a fascinating pattern in male sexual regrets compared to women's. Women's top regrets: losing virginity to the wrong partner, cheating, and moving too fast sexually. Men's top regrets: not approaching a potential partner due to timidity, not being more sexually adventurous in youth and not being more sexually adventurous when single. See the pattern? Men regret the experiences they didn't have, while women regret experiences they did have. This reveals something profound about how men view sexuality. They see missed opportunities as bigger regrets than poor choices, but this pattern reveals something even deeper about male psychology. The research shows that 28.9% of men regret passing up casual sex the last time they had the chance, compared to only 3.6% of women. This isn't about men being sex-obsessed, it's about how they process missed connections and opportunities differently. If you're in a relationship with a man, understand that his enthusiasm for intimacy often comes from not wanting to miss the opportunity to connect with you. Frame it as eagerness for connection, not just physical need. Here's something that research reveals, but we rarely discuss. Men face enormous social pressure to always want sex. This pressure leads to some disturbing outcomes. Studies show that straight men often have unwanted sex due to social pressure to appear masculine. They fear being labeled as weak, gay, or virgin if they don't take every sexual opportunity. This pressure is so intense that many men have sex they don't actually want. Think about this for a moment. We assume men always want sex, but research shows they're often having sex they don't want because they feel they're supposed to want it. This is the opposite of healthy sexuality, and this pressure creates a dangerous cycle that affects everyone. The expectation that men always want sex makes it nearly impossible for men to say no when they're not in the mood, stressed, tired, or simply not interested. This creates resentment, performance issues, and disconnection, the exact opposite of what both partners actually want. Research from Planned Parenthood confirms that men need to be okay with saying no when they don't want sex. When they can be honest about their desires, the sexual activity they do participate in becomes much more enjoyable for everyone involved. Create a safe space in your relationship where either partner can say, "I'm not in the mood tonight," without it being taken as rejection or causing conflict. So what do men actually want? The research paints a completely different picture than the stereotypes suggest. First, they want variety and exploration, but within an emotional connection. The Archives of Sexual Behavior research shows that sexual monotony decreases satisfaction over time. But men want to explore this variety with someone they trust and feel connected to. Second, they want to be desired and appreciated. The research shows that a man's fourth most important sexual need is for his partner to initiate intimacy sometimes. When a woman initiates sex, it means everything to him because it shows she desires him. But there's one more thing the research reveals that changes everything. Men want their partners to be active participants, not passive recipients. Studies show that when partners express pleasure during sex, men are significantly more sexually satisfied. They want engagement, enthusiasm, and genuine participation. The Kinsey Institute research reveals that facial expressions, eye contact, and verbal cues greatly enhance men's sexual experience. Eye contact creates intimacy and connection, making the encounter feel more personal and emotionally charged. Focus on being an engaged, enthusiastic participant rather than worrying about your performance. Men find genuine enthusiasm more attractive than perfect technique. Here's what I've learned from all this research. The key to understanding how men actually view sex comes down to one word: communication. But not the kind of communication we usually think about. Men want to share their desires and preferences, but they need to feel safe doing so. The research shows that when men are vulnerable enough to share what they like and their partners respond positively, it creates a cycle of trust and better sex for everyone. Men are not the sexually simple creatures that popular culture portrays them as. They want emotional connection, communication, variety within trust, mutual satisfaction, and the freedom to be vulnerable about their needs and insecurities. The biggest revelation? Men's sexual needs are far more similar to women's than they are different from them. Both want emotional connection, both experience performance anxiety, both need to feel desired and appreciated, and both benefit from open communication. Start one conversation this week about what emotional connection means to your partner. Don't focus on technique or frequency. Focus on feelings, needs, and desires. This single conversation can transform your relationship. So what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more such content.